I just bought my first PRS guitar, and that reminded me that earlier this year I got to sit down with Paul Reed-Smith himself, have a chat, and genuinely I was nervous to release this video because it shows a side of both of us that I wasn't ready to share that side of me with you, that I think I've captured something real. So if you want to see this, I'll open this after the interview, but now you're about to watch me and Paul from the moment I press record on the camera without any special editing, cutting anything out. Enjoy.
Do your viewers know that you moved to Austria?
Yeah, a few people ask me, they think I'm in Germany or in Sweden or in Switzerland because they're Austria and the accent, of course, well, you're British. How does that work?
Yeah.
You are allowed to go other places.
Of course you are.
Yeah, so...
You're completely allowed to go other places.
Exactly. And I've kind of bumbled through life a little with goals, but also been open to whatever happens, you know? Because whenever I try and focus on something
You're
too hard...
improvising with a plan.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I met a girl when I was busking through Europe, and...
a woman or a girl?
A woman, very much a woman.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Very much a woman. I'm sorry, my love.
No. It's okay. I make that point because in America, that term woman connotates a mature human being of stature in a personal way, not of a money way, right? So I don't know. Maybe it's me being a jerk.
Well, I would argue that when I met her, she was a girl, and then some things happened in her life that made her a woman.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I used to be a boy and I grew up, I hope. I'm a man now.
Well,
same thing.
We're sitting
right?
between a couple of guitars, and that's the best thing to be doing, right?
So why don't we get off relationships and we'll
let's
talk about guitars.
About other things, guitars and yourself.
Thanks for having me on.
It is an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and
Okay.
thanks to your team for allowing me this time.
We've not
as well.
done this interview before, right?
No, you and I have never met.
So let's go.
Right, so can I tell you about my first PRS experience?
You can do anything you want.
When I was in my 20s, when you'd just done the thing with Santana, I thought, that looks like a fantastic guitar. I'm going to go and try it out. And I went down to, I think it was just the SE model. I went down to the shop in Bristol, which was quite a big journey for me back then. And I tried one, and the shop assistant said, no, now try this one. It was like the next level of whatever it was, because I was just a kid back then. And now try this one, and it was like the super top level. And I ended up walking out with no guitar, because even though all three were fantastic, I couldn't make the decision in my head to buy the more affordable one. And I realized I made a mistake, because they were all superb.
So had you been in Birmingham, would you have made the decision? Was it a Bristol problem? Well, maybe Manchester, you would have made a decision.
I think it was
You know, I've been from Bristol to Manchester back and forth across the country 20 times in a van. You know that, right? Yeah. Because England is a guitar country.
Absolutely.
And it's beloved, the instrument's beloved, and so why would I not go visit the dealers? And the best way to visit the dealers was to get in a van and go from Manchester down to Bristol slowly and hit all the dealers, or the other way around.
When would this have been?
I've done it many, many, many times. I love it. I'm just teasing you because it has nothing to do with Bristol. It has to do with the fact that you weren't sure which one to do and you waited and made the decision later, right? Did you finally get one?
I did not.
You
And
did
then
not.
went and looked at a bunch of guitars and ended up buying nothing for a very long time. And just decided to stick with the guitar that I had, because I didn't really need another guitar at that point.
I think you needed another guitar. If I'd have been there, I'd have worked on you hard to take one of them. Did you enjoy the experience of playing all three?
Did. I mean, now I'm running this YouTube channel, so I have a bunch of experiences behind me that I've been lucky enough to have. Back then I was a kid who loved guitar, and I'm still that kid. But it was at that point with your guitars that I changed from being just that kid who was playing to actually interested in finding out what makes this different to this, what makes this better on paper to this, And it was a real
So
turning
in a
point
way, it
for
was
me.
a seed for a whole bunch of things, including this show.
I never could imagine that I'd be here at NAMM and here with you and here just having a YouTube channel, because YouTube didn't exist back then. But looking back, it definitely was a seed.
Yeah, sounds like one.
Yeah.
I had a few of my own things that just changed the way it was that I looked at things. I'll give you the same story, but different.
I'm into it.
My brother takes me to a record store and he goes, these guys are going to be huge. They're huge in England and they're going to be huge here. And I'm looking at the record. There's a black guy in the middle with a shirt on with two eyes, a fro, two white guys with the same fros. They're a little shorter. And I'm looking at things going, what in the hell? So my brother says, I got to go out and do something when we went back to the house. So I did this sacrilegious thing. I took the cellophane off and I put the record on. By the time I got to Are You Experienced, my mind was blown. I didn't know what Hendrix was. All I knew, my brother had told me these guys are big in England and they're going to be big here. And I opened the record and listened to it. It was unbelievable, cold, having no idea. It was extraordinary. And that changed my mind. Listen to the Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore, changed my mind. Listen to Jeff Beck with the record with the orange on it, changed my mind. I mean, this music had a real impact on me. In my world, people used to play guitar so they get a date. That's not why I did it. I did it because I love the sound of the instrument. I love the sound of the music. I liked how it made me feel, you know. When the first time I heard really loud Fox at 80 where he says, I'm going to get you, I about jumped out of my seat. At crosstown traffic, that's a kazoo.
It's a kazoo. It's one of my favorite tracks. I do it in my covers band.
It's a kazoo. I didn't know that. All I know is, you know, I had no idea. I found that out later. So it changed my mind about what I wanted to do. Which your experience changed your mind about you wanted to compare things.
It's a real point, a punctuation.
Real point, punctuation.
Do you think, for me, that was Bohemian Rhapsody, by the way? That was that song, that changed my...
You know what changed my mind with Queen? Killer Queen. I talked to Bob Clearmountain the other day, the great mixer. He said he studies the mix every day. They didn't have it. Killer Queen. You think about mixing that tune. There must have been 7 or 8 hands on the console moving things. They didn't have automation.
No.
That's not the way it worked.
It still blows my mind.
If you watch the Queen movie, the guy, the EMI guy, he goes, can't you just do another Killer Queen?
I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was good. Who do you think
I was
might be the band now?
I was around that band at that time, at one point.
Queen?
Yeah. And they were, the one thing that's inaccurate about the movie, these were a bunch of adult males that absolutely knew where they were doing and they were forces to be reckoned with. This is not a bunch of young, nice guys. These were powerful, extraordinarily brilliant, genius musicians that knew exactly what they were doing. They were stunning live. That wasn't good, it was ridiculous. They would come out and command the whole place. You don't do that being weak. These were strong people.
Wembley '86, the concert.
Yeah.
I played that till the tape broke. It is just...
It's ridiculous.
The control that man has of the crowd, it's godlike.
Well,
absolutely godlike.
Listen, did you ever hear the story about Queen playing at Live Aid? Did you ever hear that story?
I've heard some stories, yes.
They rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed. And when they started playing, the musicians backstage went nuts. Oh my God, Queen's taking this show. These were people not to be messed with. They were going to tear you down. This was a powerful, musically powerful, musician powerful, rhythm powerful, who had good front of house people. The tones coming out of that PA were thunderous. These guys were ridiculous. And the idea that it just was,
okay.
No.
Maybe that's the British way of looking at things. Maybe we shouldn't blow our own trumpets too often. You know, maybe that's why.
Maybe, but I mean, come on, it's Queen.
Yeah, I mean, Pavarotti was asked who is the best vocalist in the world, and he said, well, there's Freddie Mercury, and then let's talk about everybody else now. And
He said that?
He did, yeah. It's always stuck
Okay,
with me.
so go watch the Friends video with Dionne Warwick, and when Gladys Knight opens her mouth, it's so good. Stevie Wonder starts clapping. It's Elton John, Stevie Wonder, Dionne Warwick, and Gladys Knight tears it to shreds. Did you ever watch Queen with George Michael singing at Wembley? Oh my God. Why he never got that gig, I have no idea.
We thought it was a shoo-in. It was. My family were only Queen fans when I grew up. Yeah. Only Queen, and I thought that was a shoo-in, and it didn't happen.
Look, I don't know what happened. I don't even care. All I know is that is a powerful band that were commanding extraordinary music, and they knew what they were doing. That was no accident. They wrote those tunes.
To bring it back, if we may, to the company and the experience I had last year at NAMM, I was at the 40th anniversary, and congratulations, the House of Blues, and I walked into that venue thinking, what is that? And it was Philip Sayce.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's playing tonight.
Goodness, is he really?
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about it. It made me fall in love with guitar yet again, and it built onto that kernel of guitar love that I have, where it gets another layer. And I knew that I was there for John Mayer
He's a powerful
and the rest,
guitar
but Philip
player.
Sayce, my goodness.
Yeah, and he's attacking the guitar.
Yeah.
He's attacking it.
And he was, again, in control totally. And he could have said, jump up 3 times and do a dance. I would have done it, you know? He had me.
Okay, fair enough, but the solo in Vultures and the solo in, what was the other tune John Mayer did, was just extraordinary. Gravity. The solo in Gravity is ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
When he played it, there was one note that John held, and it was a, let's say, clean tone note, and the whole place was silent. And you could, again, it's happening again, but he had everybody, because almost everybody were guitar lovers, and just those notes were just so pure.
Brian May was that good too, you know.
Yes.
He's ridiculous.
He was the reason I didn't start playing guitar when I was younger, Brian May, because I thought it was unachievable. I thought I could not achieve what this god had done.
I don't know about that. I get inspired about these guitar players that they're showing you their possibilities you didn't know about. I like that part. I saw Joe Walsh play his solo material once at Merriweather Post Pavilion. It sounded like the needle went down on the record and they played the record. It did not sound like a live band. It sounded like the record had been turned on. I couldn't talk. Are you that good? Leave me a message and maybe I'll call. It sounded exactly, not kind of, like frighteningly good. So to me, these musicians, they as Carlos Santana says, they can get you the food you can't get at the grocery store.
That's beautiful.
It's food for the soul.
It's beautiful.
Look, you know something? Brian May and I don't have a working relationship, but I think he changed what was possible with the guitar, just the way Hendrix did, just the way that the Allman Brothers did, just the way that, you know, Freddie King did, the way that B.B. King did. John Mayer, I saw him with a solo acoustic guitar turn Madison Square Garden into a big wooden club, and people felt like they were standing right next to him, the same way Springsteen used to do it. Did you see the Taylor Hawkins show that was at?
The tribute.
Yeah, did you see it?
I saw a recording of it, yes.
You know who was at the console, why it sounded so good? That was Bob Clearmountain.
And he listens to Killer Queen every day.
Yeah, so I was complimenting Bob on what he had, extraordinary job he'd done mixing the Taylor Hawkins show. And he goes, you know, Wolfgang played Hot for Teacher. Do you ever watch it?
I have seen it as a
He
guitarist.
didn't look down. How do you play Hot for Teacher and not look down? Wolfie did that.
I don't know if there's genetics there or whatever.
No,
but
he was at his father's knee. He learned it at his father's
right, okay,
knee.
so
Come on,
it's
man.
inside him.
I mean, look. David Gilmour playing those melodic solos in a stadium. And they talk about bringing the hairs on your arms up. I don't know. Look, I adore these musicians, and I don't care if they play a PRS or not. But I mean, you know that that Deep Purple's going on a 16-month stadium tour, and Simon McBride's the guitar player. Simon McBride's the guitar player. Are you kidding me? I've known kids since he was 14. He was one of the Marshall demonstrators with Jeff Whitehorn when he was 14. He's been gifted since he was a squirt.
I met a young man this morning who is a PRS artist, and
Yeah.
I think he was 11 years old.
Yeah. He's tearing up TV in the U.S.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And such a nice kid, fully confident, but fully grounded and polite, and I thought, what a kid.
He's cocky, he's laughing at everybody. I got this, and he's got it.
I wish I learned his name. Well,
You know something? For everybody who's not watching this, there's a contraption over here. We call that in America a contraption. You know, with all the microphones and the cameras and the flight cases, and it's doing a marvelous job for you. That's great. Congratulations. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your time. It's
You're a hoot. You love guitar.
I do. And I love people. And it's really nice when I get to combine those two things, which is why I'm so, I don't want to call it lucky, but I'm really pleased with all the choices I've made that have put me in this situation. And I think a lot of people would say that about you as well.
Bristol. South England, right?
Let's leave it there, Bristol.
Well, we could go to Birmingham.
I do love
By the
Birmingham.
way, you don't know this. I was in Birmingham in the middle of the city the night the bomb went off. I got in a cab, and as we left, the thing went off. I'm lucky I was on the corner that it happened at. Remember
Okay.
that? A long time ago?
I do remember it.
I was there, and I missed it by a minute or two. Thank God. I don't want to get blown up, but
No, somebody was looking after you that day.
okay, it wasn't my time to go, I guess. Look, all I know is thank you for letting us do this. We could probably share hundreds of
I
stories.
think we could.
You know who the opening band for Queen was on the tour that I saw him on? Thin Lizzy. And Gary Moore was tearing it apart.
We have to stop, and I wish we couldn't or didn't
Okay,
have to.
all right, good.
It's an absolute pleasure,
All right,
Paul.
pleasure.
You take care of yourself.
All right.
Thank you for watching the YouTube outro and stuff like that. Comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed that. A big thank you to PRS, the company, and PRS, the man, for allowing me to do that. I had an absolute blast, and I also got to speak to some other people at PRS, which will be coming on the channel soon. I'm now comfortable sharing that with you. And because you've stayed to the end, you get to see the guitar that I've bought. It is the PRS Rock Lady, limited edition. I managed to pick one up. I haven't plugged it in yet. I will plug it in, and I will share that with you. And I'll do it in the next PRS interview video, which is coming very soon. I hate to hook you like that, but if you enjoyed this video, I know for sure you're going to enjoy the next one. It's with Philip Sayce, and it is a beautiful conversation, if I dare say so myself. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see it, and I hopefully will see you there in the comments section. Bye-bye.